So,
Anthony, can you give us a sense of who's fit, who's not fit? There's a lot, there's a long list, I imagine.
There's a lot going on, but anyway, in general, the feeling is amongst the medical staff that people are progressing really well. Most people should be back sometime this week, if not the end of the week, and then there's a couple that we'll keep assessing throughout. Decent enough news actually coming in last night, and medical checks this morning, so not a bad place to be.
Who are your biggest fears over at the moment of those kind of long-term ones who maybe they might just run out of a bit of time?
Well, no, I don't think anyone's in that type of bracket. But having said that, where we're at as far as rehabilitation is concerned, like some people are just getting back running now. So as you go through different stages, people could break down, and you know, there's one or two or three of those in that type of bracket that we don't know about. But certainly nobody's ruled out at this stage.
Would there be players like James Lowe, Hugo Keenan, who haven't played yet this season? Would you be willing to risk them against South Africa having not played yet?
Well, from what I'm told, that James won't be available, so that's that. Hugo, I'm told, will be available. He's going to be training with us this week. You know, we're gradually building the weekend anyway as we go. So Thursday, Friday is going to be a big couple of days for a few of the players. But answer to your question, we'll just wait and see. We'll just wait and see. There's some people that can handle those type of situations better than others.
Last question from me then. Obviously a huge weekend of interpros as well this weekend with Munster and Ulster in particular. For those 8 players, they're obviously being released back to their clubs. Are any of the other players likely to be released to be able to play with their clubs this weekend?
No.
Cool. Thanks, Andy.
Thanks.
Andy, I suppose just one of the headline pieces of the positive news this morning was on Joey. Just a word on how good it is to have him declared fit at this stage.
Well, just so we can get back up and running and train as a team and have him barking orders. That's what a general always does, you know. So for him to have that peace of mind to get back up and running himself is pretty reassuring for everyone else.
And just on those kind of longer term injuries, you know, you touched on it there, but the likes of Peter and Tig at this stage, would you be confident they'll make that first game against South Africa?
Yeah, confident. But as I said, there's certain stages that they'll have to get through. But they've pulled up in not too bad shape, and they'll go through a process, and we'll see how they are at the beginning of next week.
And just in terms of the 3-match series, what are you looking for? Well, apart from 3 wins from 3 games,
like always, improvement. There's so much improving that we wanna prove to ourselves first and foremost that we can do, and so it's great to be back in after watching the URC for a good few weeks now. It's great to be back in and, you know, have this week to get back up and running and prepare properly, and hopefully dust ourselves down and understand where we're trying to go with our game and where we're trying to push on, because you know, we've prided ourselves on trying to get up to speed as soon as we possibly can, and that's as we all know is the art of international rugby, because nobody really cares whether you've got 5 days of preparation or 6 months of preparation. So to get back up to speed for that first game and be at our best is where we want to be, and I think we all know it's where we have to be coming up against a good team like South Africa.
Good stuff. Thanks, Ian.
Andy Ashing from Off the Wall, how are you?
Great, thanks.
And just on the squad itself, there's 6 uncapped players, so I'm sure it was a tough decision for you to hold the squad together.
Oh, it's great. I mean, we know that there are some injuries knocking around, but that's to be shaped in any type of competition, including the World Cup. You know, in the future, this is what we're going to be up against. So, giving opportunities to other people and being able to try out different combinations, we'll see how that flourishes or not in the next week or so. But there's one guy, Nashi, who's in for the first time. You know, he did so well on the Emerging Ireland Tour. He's in for the first time. He's earned the right to be in as well. There's an opportunity for him, but there are 6 guys there that are trying to battle it out and prove to not just me but to the rest of the teammates that they deserve a first cap. You know, so that's pretty special. And then on top of that, you've got Connor. That's one away from the 100. You know, so there's some nice milestones for people to reach out to.
And you have the first team, and then you have the A team as well. So for you personally, what was the main reason for having those 2 teams?
opportunity, finding opportunities for people and finding out. I've constantly said over the last few years, you know, that competition has to be all of our best friends, you know. And I said to the players exactly that this morning again when the other lads come in, the 12 extras are coming for the air game next week. You know, there'll be, I don't know, 47 to 50 players in the room, and have a look around, because you know you're all going to be competing against each other over the next 12 months certainly, and you've got to embrace that and rise to that and be the best teammate that you could possibly be within that type of situation as well. So we created opportunities there in New Zealand with the A game, with the Maori game, sorry. But I mean, what does that stand for? That type of experience, if you don't back it up, you know. So we've got to find ways of backing it up, and the A game is a fantastic opportunity for people to show that they're able to perform at this level, because that 100% is going to be a massive step up from the Maori games in themselves, and then we'll see how the land lies after that, you know, because again, people are fighting for a test spot. I mean, it's obvious, isn't it, you know, that we go from the 2 Maori games to the A game, you know, and the emerging island stuff, you know, it's the non-cap games as such, you know, so people are desperate to play for Ireland, but like all things, you've got to earn the right to be able to do that.
And another exciting player is Jacob Stockdale. He's in for the first time since July 21.
Yeah, I'm delighted to see him back in the room. He obviously had a very tough time of it last year, but he's shown resilience, and I was really impressed with how he started the season. I thought he really showed at the start of the season what he was trying to achieve and where he was trying to get to. Unfortunately, he got injured again over the last couple of weeks, but I thought he started back really strong, determined. I thought he looked strong in contact, etc., and you could see that hunger back in him.
Thanks, Andy.
Andy, how comfortable with these guys play against Africa when they've only had limited minutes this season, or in some cases no game time since New Zealand? Is there a bit of risk involved in that space? Makes a big step up.
Well, what do you suggest we do otherwise?
Keep options.
Yeah, but some players don't need that much game time. Some players are able to just hit it straight from the word go. You know, some players need 5 or 6 games to hit the ground running. So it's up to us to assess that. But you know, we're not a massive playing pool as well. You know, so it needs must at times as well.
How good is it to have a different challenge when it comes to South Africa? Because obviously, you know, the Six Nations regulars and 4 matches in the last year against New Zealand, but South Africa are a very different type of team.
Yeah, they've got a unique way of playing, and they're all on the same page, and that's their strength, isn't it? You know, they know their points of difference and they go after it hard, and they've been very successful being able to do that. So obviously, being aware of what South Africa are about is absolutely key, because we need to know what they're trying to achieve, but at the same time, how we progress our own game is just as, if not more important. You know, I think probably if you want to compare it to what we've faced over the shortest period of time, probably the French away game. You know, big set who you go after you properly in defence and set pieces. Obviously, a main part of their game, play a good territory type strangling game and a pressure type game. So obviously that didn't work out too well for us in the end. So we need to show progression from that.
And is there, with the sides playing each other in the World Cup next year, any danger there's going to be a bit of shadow boxing between the two sides? There's a long time between drinks as far as that's concerned. I suppose concentrating on the here and now is what we're after. You know, we're after progressing our game like we always are in any competition, and then seeing how the land lies after this and going into what's going to be an unbelievably competitive Six Nations.
Okay guys, I'd like to switch on to the call here. Seems to be he's in there now. We'll start with you, Russell.
This is so old school now, isn't it?
And you muted there, bud.
Hi Andy, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, you.
Long time no speak. Yeah, very good, thank you, mate. Congrats on all your success since we last spoke.
Let's forget about that. Let's move on now.
Okay. Well, Andy, good to have you with us ahead of the Autumn Nation series, of course, live across TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Really excited to have you guys back, and what a fabulous time it's been. But as you've alluded to, there's an awful lot to still succeed and still achieve, isn't there?
Well, there is every day with that. We're trying to get better, you know, in the short term. So what's been and gone is exactly that, and we try and push forward on the next task.
And that next task obviously is 3 huge games in Dublin over the next few weeks, starting with South Africa, one of the very best teams in the world. Just how excited are you about that game, and also what lies ahead over the course of November?
Well, it's a new challenge. It's a different challenge for us. We've not played them in such a long time, and obviously they're in our pool going forward in the World Cup as well. So we're super excited to be playing them first up. We know that they're unbelievably well prepared after just being together for so long, you know, since the summer. So the challenge for us is to make sure that we use these 2 weeks wisely now until then.
And in terms of the atmosphere you'll be expecting in Dublin over the next few weeks, obviously Irish rugby is again right on the crest of the wave once more. How key will that be, and how exciting is that for you?
Well, we're always super proud to play at home. We have a duty to do the right thing by the public and play the type of game that we want to portray to them, and we want them to be proud of what they're seeing out there, especially at home at the Aviva Stadium.
Squad-wise, you've just been chatting to the Irish media about quite a few injury concerns, hopefully a lot of players that will be fit in time. Just for our listeners over in the UK, is it not to say a concerning time, a challenging time, the fact that you've got quite a few key performers at different levels of fitness at the moment?
No, it is what it is. We embrace that and use it to our advantage, because this is going to crop up certainly in the not too distant future, I would have thought. So it is what it is. There's no excuses. It's an opportunity for people, and we want to see how we can build as a group, you know. And at the same time, that's all that players want, you know. They just want an opportunity to be able to play, show the peers that they're good enough to be able to deliver at this type of level. So giving them an opportunity is exciting for us all.
And fitness-wise, from what I can glean, hopefully most of the key performers will hopefully all be fit and raring to start by the time we get to that South Africa game. Is that a fair assessment? At
this stage, yeah, but you know what it's like as far as training is concerned, and the competitive nature of these type of athletes. You know, we roll with it as it is, and there's always something that crops up, but that's all good as well.
So in terms of this training camp, it's obviously critical, isn't it? And to get that depth you touched about for now, and to build into a World Cup, how crucial for you to have 2-3 top players, ideally in almost every position?
Well, it is. It's super important, because you don't do well in a World Cup unless you've got a squad of 33 that everyone is of the highest order. You know, if you roll into a World Cup a few shy of that, then you're going to come unstuck. Having said that, you know, even more so, there's always going to be injuries, and you know, with HIA protocols correctly where they are at this moment in time, it's vital that you have a playing squad of 40 plus that can properly deliver at this level. So that's why we're trying to find opportunities for people to be able to prove whether they can or can't, and earn the right to be in the room.
And just finally from me on that note, Andy, I was talking to Eddie Jones with the England camp about this a couple of days ago, and he was very quick to say that now with the HIAs, with so many other kind of aspects of international rugby that just evolve in game, that change on the move, how key is that ability for your squad to have leadership, but leadership that can almost self-manage and deal with any situation out there in any game, be it the World Cup?
Well, that's what we're always striving to improve on. You know, it isn't just injuries or whatever. It's tactical know-how and being able to deal with all sorts of different emotions, and getting back down to neutral, etc., and being calm enough to play the game as
as we believe it should be played. So it isn't just down to injuries, etc. It's the whole package of why we're always trying to continue the correct decision making within our leadership.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to coming over yours and good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Okay, guys, anything further on this call? Got a couple of minutes left.
Hi, Andy.
Hi.
I just wanted to, obviously 6 uncapped players in that squad, which is obviously very exciting. How likely is it that they're going to get some game time in this autumn, and how, I suppose, with a year out to that World Cup, are they in with a shout getting there?
Well, we'll see. Again, they've got to earn the right. There's no freebies as far as caps are concerned. People have got to earn the right to pull on the green jersey, and that's why why we've got games like we have before the South African test on the Friday night, the air game. That's going to be a hell of a test, really, for our group, because it's a bit of a different playing group that we would have had over in New Zealand as well, because obviously us playing the day after, whoever's involved in Saturday can't play on Friday night, so it's a bit of a wider group for us as well. But it's all good. All that people want is an opportunity.
Obviously now, as we both touched on kind of there's a year out till the World Cup. How much of your 33-man squad do you know yet, and how much obviously is going to be influenced by injuries, but sort of in the back of your mind, how much of it do you think you have nailed down?
We go through the process quite a bit, and it's something that we talk about quite a lot, because you've got to know which direction that you are going, but at the same time those things do change. You've got to be open-minded for that change. What's the point in the next 12 months if you wasn't in that type of frame of mind anyway? So everyone, of course, people know at this stage who they would like to take, but those things tend to change on the way.
Absolutely. And then lastly from me, obviously South Africa famed for their sort of attritional approach and that bomb squad up front. How prepared do you think your boys are to take that on?
Oh, we'll be as prepared as ever. There'll be a determination within our group to put our best game out there, which the fans will deserve.
Perfect, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thanks guys. Just going to shut this off, and we'll
Thank you.
switch on over to the Embargo Britain section.